support now.
That's how it should be, But it's again, social media is a double-edged sword. Like people post fake lives and live a
well, they're
double
only showing
life.
their best. I only show you my best. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty open on my Instagram.
If there's like
with
a
my
hideous
followers,
picture of me out there, I'm like, no, don't do it. And made it here, and you brought along Ashley, who's our third person on the mic. She's off camera, but we got you in the hot seat.
Yeah, I was excited.
Both of you guys are excited to be here?
Of course.
Yeah? What kind of conversations are we planning to have so people know?
Honestly, I've never really
got
been
a music background,
this open, so I'm down for what.
So what are we talking about? What's our topics that we're covering today? Are we talking about your music? Are we talking about your studio? Are we talking about...
We talk about a lot of things, man. Talk about you, your show.
Oh, okay.
Just go with the flow,
Me and my show. That's what you came here to talk about? What's there to discuss?
I came here to interview you.
Okay.
I'm just kidding.
You want to switch seats real quick?
Just do a quick reversal.
Yeah. We'll get the rotating table.
Right, I got
a
beard. I can be like, hi guys, welcome. This is OMAR.
So what did you want to start off with for topic?
We could start with music. That's what I do.
We gotta include Ashley though. Right, so
she knows everything. She's
music.
Yeah, anything related to me.
What made you get into music? You two.
My dad. My dad's always like sung around the house or played guitar.
Yeah.
So I just naturally picked it up out of curiosity, and I went with drums.
That's where you get your sound.
Yeah.
Expertise from. You know, I mean, you got an ear for music. You know what I mean?
And then I started venturing off into different genres, and I came across people like Tupac and Biggie, and then Al Green. Like, it's so random. My dad would be listening to Jimi Hendrix one day, and then some Brown song the next.
Yeah.
I would just wake up to it, So it's like a lot of different backgrounds, and so I started getting into it and did band in school and the whole nerd outfit with like the bow tie, school choir, all that shit. It was fun.
So now you've gone from having an interest in music or having an ear for it and getting into all that, but now you're representing a few people, not just local, but people in the UK, where you're working and you're collaborating with a lot of them to get some of the content that you showed us. That's bomb, man. Like,
it's fun, bro. I never would have thought doing music would take me like to different places and to sit with people. Even this conversation right now would have never happened without music.
That's true.
If you think about it.
That's true.
Right?
I think it would maybe happened on a different occasion, possibly.
But that's the butterfly effect,
exactly,
right? You'll never know.
Exactly.
You'll never know.
We shouldn't have smoked that much before the podcast.
Yeah.
My words are like struggling to
I have caught
I
need this cup here too.
We should have squeezed a little bit of lemon in it.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, that would have been a nice topping. I've been doing that lately. Feels good.
I'm just too lazy to do that. I'm like, drink now.
Just cut a lemon in half and squeeze it.
Yeah, I guess.
Anyways, what's it like working with all these guys? Like, are you planning? We talked about like steps and things we got to talk about and all these things in the coming future. But podcast aside, what were you thinking of doing with these guys? Like, what's the next level for
honestly?
Sully?
Like, for me, I want to create a platform, kind of like how you guys have, where you give people a voice. But I want to use this platform to bring people together. Because if you look at markets like UK, all the artists support each other. We had this conversation the other day, like, excuse me, it doesn't matter if you're a producer or a singer or a rapper or a DJ. Yeah. All those people would come out and support you. But in Canadian culture, it's very competitive. Let's just use that word. And it's a lot about cliques and individuals trying to make it. But if people came together like how they did in the UK, it'd be unstoppable. That's why America's market is so big, because they all work with each other. Over here, it's just, and it's easier for us. There's only 36 million Canadians. Like, for me, that's my goal. I want to unite people and just kind of like DJ Khaled, how he puts together songs and puts the artists together into a room. We're like, okay, guys, let's create something. And that's
what is that process like for you? Like when you go collaborate with somebody and you're working on your music, what's the, what do we say here? A day in the life. Like what do you do when you walk into that studio? Are you putting sound together and you're engineering it, because that's what you do.
Yeah, like
so maybe explain that a little bit, because I'm not inclined.
Basically, like, artist doesn't even need to come in. I can get files from anyone just via email. But say an artist came in, we produce a song front to back. So the beat, whether it's from in-house or a different producer from like YouTube or any other sites like BeatStars or something. I don't know if I should be naming these sites or not, but we come in and just produce a record. It's a nice vibe. I'm not trying to like do those hobbyist type of songs. Like, I want to make records. Like, my goal for this year is to get plaques, hopefully. Like,
from YouTube?
No, not YouTube.
What are some of these videos at? Like 2 million?
Oh yeah,
3 million
2,
views.
3, 4, 5, 6.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a huge.
But
reach.
those are just views. They're not purchases, right? Like, purchases mean more than streams at the end of the day.
So what's a purchase?
So like, Sully drops a song.
Yeah.
If 1 million people stream it, that's great. But imagine if 1 million people bought that single, you would go a lot further. You would get many more awards. Of course. The money, obviously, the promotions, right? Like, that's why there's huge honchos in the game, like The Weeknd and Drake. Even though Drake's a rapper, for example, he's a pop star, bro. He's smart, you know, because all the dollars come in.
He's a household name.
Yeah, man. Music is $1 trillion industry, bro. It's big. And it's not just like rap or singing. Like, you can get your music placed in movies, in games, in commercials, ads. You're walking down to the bus and you hear something coming out of 7-Eleven. You're getting paid for that, bro. Like, counts. Royalties are residual income, right?
So a lot of the work that you're doing with these files, you barely even have to do much traveling. It's all being sent to you, and so you're trapping yourself in a studio, essentially.
Pretty much.
I like the videos that we were watching in that room. It's a cool space. It's a very creative space.
I like the people coming together. It's not just me, you know. It's like the director bringing the video to life, right? Like the singer with his voice.
They seem very dedicated, very serious.
Yeah.
Like, we go back to that story about Buddy leaving, putting on all his clothes, his shoes, said goodbye, left halfway to the car, comes running back in at -40 because he didn't quite finish.
Shout out Damien.
Damien, you know, so it's very
crazy work ethic.
It's very serious in your studio, which is kind of cool. But do you travel to the UK a lot working with these guys, or like we said, a lot of it is just?
A lot of it is just through email, but like now I'm making my goal to travel more, just places like not even just UK, but America, Australia, France as well. Got a huge music scene. I just want to get into different markets. There's a lot of opportunity, man. Like, if people leave a small city like Edmonton and go to a big town like London where there's 10 million people in one city, it's a totally different energy.
You're bound to fit in creatively somewhere.
Exactly. You know? I felt like I belonged there.
Yeah.
Like, as Ashley, I told her I almost didn't come home.
Well, but you're walking the same steps that a lot of people that are doing what you want to be doing,
and they've made it,
and you're just following suit. But it's a lot easier to do there. It's on every corner.
It's a beautiful
energy. Here, it's very
hard
to find a guy like you promoting himself, pushing himself, and helping all these artists the way you are to get out there.
Yeah,
it's harder to do over here. There you might
definitely
be
in
front of the right people.
We need the right culture. We're getting there though. The Edmonton scene, I've noticed in like the last 5 years, has grown a lot. Like, there's a lot of amazing talent in the city, a lot of sleeper talent. Like, the only thing I feel like people don't realize is how to get heard or how to put their voice out. Like, we talked about placements before. You know,
how
like,
do they?
Even if you look at these bigger celebrities, right? You go to these YouTube pages and you can just get placements, bro. Right? Just,
what are placements?
For example, like, I make a song. I can put it on my own channel, Sully. But realistically, I have 50 subscribers. So it's not going to go crazy, right?
Yeah.
But if I go to another channel, for example, we'll call it Music Daily. I don't know if that's a real page or not. Just hypothetical.
So you're going from YouTube to Music Daily.
That's on YouTube.
That's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a channel on YouTube.
It's an entity.
Yeah, right? And they got like 2 million subscribers on there. And you email them, like, how much to put this video up, and it could be anywhere from $500 to $2,000, and you'll get hits, like real people. It's a pay-to-play industry. A lot of people don't get that.
And so, how do you retain those followers or those likes or views?
That's the hard part.
To your.
That's the hard part.
The home base.
You have to engage. Like I'm on my phone.
Are you set?
all the
Are you
time.
set up to help people like that? Like, do people hire you for that specific reason?
No. Like Damien does some of that. He does digital marketing, and
Yeah.
and Mike, the business partners at Last Winter. That's our brand. But
Yeah.
that's
Last Winter.
not my forte.
How'd you come up with Last Winter? I love the branding.
Yeah, it's dope, bro. We were
Yeah.
all just
I saw
together in the
hat,
room.
the shirt.
Yeah.
So what does it stand for? Who came up with that?
I think it was Damien. I'm not sure. But we were just talking.
Sounds like
about,
Damien should have been a part of this conversation.
Yeah.
You've mentioned him 3-4
Yeah,
times.
these guys are
already.
busy.
Yeah.
They have their own like corporate world that they deal with, like web developments and all that kind of stuff. I do the entertainment side. So
So do you do
and as well
videos
with
as
Brian. No, we have our own like shooters that
Yeah.
we just kind of subcontract out.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone just kind of just works for the team as a collective, like just play your role, you know.
So how do people find you guys? Where would you like them to go to?
Usually like 90% is Instagram, to be honest, or like other people's pages. Like if you were an artist, I always ask for credits. Like that's like one of my biggest battles right now. It's not even for myself, but just other engineers, because if you notice in the industry, like for me, like you said, like what was one of my goals is to be like a voice for other people, because a lot of these hits that you're hearing would not be what they are without the producers or engineers. Like
And it's
even
always
Justin
the star
Timberlake,
that gets the
Adele.
attention.
Yeah, it's
Right?
always the star.
Yeah.
When you get the Grammy, it's always the star. It's never the guy that's sitting at the board making you sound like crystal
But
clear.
maybe the guy at the board doesn't really want to be acknowledged like that. Like he's
Maybe.
okay with getting
Yeah.
that sort of notoriety by not being in front
It's a
of the camera
double-edged
on
sword.
stage.
It's
Well-
not even about being camera on stage. It's just about
But I mean,
the
if that's all you're
recognition.
missing, okay.
the recognition.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but hey, a lot of those stars do shout outs and do
Oh, yeah.
mention
Oh, yeah.
the producer and the director.
I love working with those
And
kind of artists,
yeah, maybe we're not watching that video for the drops of those names, but it's a star and they're acknowledging
As a
them.
consumer, you would never care about Sully. But
Yeah.
if you're an artist, you're like, damn, like this sounds dope. Who mixed it?
Well, you're looking at the music scene a lot different
Yeah.
than most people are.
Right? It's
Like
more
you're,
for like
you're
the business.
analyzing it, like the
Oh,
way
yeah.
a director does or a cameraman does when he's watching a movie.
Yep.
He's always looking at it from his point of
Or
view.
if you work in the restaurant industry, you go into a restaurant, you judge the restaurant. So it's the same thing.
You're on like spidey senses.
Almost.
You know what I mean?
Not-
Actually, how do you feel like putting up with this guy and all the hours that he's putting in at the studio? How do you get mixed up in this music thing?
I've always been supportive, so I
Oh,
mean,
Yeah, she has.
that's
She has.
obvious.
I really have been. I know that he has a big dream, and it takes a lot of work and effort to get there. So, they always say that if you want a successful man, he's gonna be busy. So,
Yeah, it's
you
it's
can't
nice.
really expect him to be at home all the time if he wants to make it. So, it's just an expectation that you've learned to live with, right?
You guys have always made it seem so easy to have the relationship that you guys have.
We have our battles. just
Of
like
course,
everyone else. Yeah.
everybody does. You make it seem effortless, like there hasn't been any hiccups in your relationship since I've personally known of you guys.
Yeah.
Or at least it's not put out there, but I mean,
There's
who's
actually
putting
been
up fights on
no
Instagram?
hiccups. No, there's been no hiccups. actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying
Like
there
major
is
ones.
Yeah, there isn't none of that. It's always been good with you guys. You guys have always seemed to understand each other, have fun together, seem like you're really happy together
Yeah, it's
doing
good,
it.
bro.
Do you guys have any secrets that most people don't know? Like obviously there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes, but have you guys tried something that seems to work for you?
Fuck, I don't know. Just
Well, I think it's just because we started out as friends. To be honest, like we were friends for 3 years before we got together, and it kind of just naturally
I got out the friend
happened.
zone. Is what happened.
Yeah, he always
I got out
jokes
the friend
about
zone.
that.
That's
So, ladies, if you have a friend in the friend zone, he's probably
working on
a good
something
man.
for 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Doesn't that make you the creepiest of them all?
not really because like
Because you
she would
waited,
date other
like you-
guys. And
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
you guys did date.
Yeah, I was with other girls and she was with other guys.
No, you did it all good.
But
then.
like
You just-
we would see each other's breakups, we would see each other's heartbreaks, and we would be there for each other, and then realize like, okay, we're best friends already. We hang out all the time. We see the wrong people that obviously treat us like shit. You know what I mean?
you
Like,
start realizing you're leaning on the right shoulder.
There's two types of people. There's givers and takers, right? If you're a giver as a person, and you're with someone a taker, you're just gonna feel drained emotionally at the end of it.
But some people want to.
Some people want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
Some
you're
people
friends
want
with
that.
someone too, you see all the good and bad in every situation that they get put through.
She knows my ugly.
So
Yeah, she knows my ugly.
yeah,
There's no like hiding, whatever. Like it is what it is. And then if we argue, like it's 10 minutes, and then we'll just shut up for like 15, 20 minutes. I'm like, babe, do you wanna order some food or something? Yeah.
So you guys have a good thing going.
Yeah, it's good.
What's your take on marriage? You guys aren't married.
No.
So what's your take on marriage? Because everybody's got their own opinion, especially nowadays. We're in an age where everybody mentions marriage as not being the end all be all for people, and there's too much shit involved.
I think marriage is a beautiful thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I love going to weddings and stuff, and seeing.
Oh, you like partying at weddings?
Not even that, but
how
just
do you feel about taking the dive?
when I'm ready, when we're both ready, it's something that
What's ready?
Just mentally, maturity, just financially.
I feel like we both know we're still growing a lot to be the people
Yeah,
we're meant to be.
of course.
And I think we both know that there's a lot of steps still that need to be taken. And, I feel like it's such a huge step that
That's
I feel
a huge step.
a
Yeah.
lot of people take a little bit too lightly sometimes. And
Think about marriage, bro. You split everything in half. It's not just like boyfriend, girlfriend. Like I love her. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but some people like rush into it, and then what happens? They get divorced, and then they lose everything, and then this and that. Like we look at everyone around us, and just learn. Like I don't take a relationship advice from my guy friends that are going through 6 girls in like a year. What do you know, right? Like I look at people like our parents that have been together for so long, no matter where they are in the world, or just like old school love type of thing, like ride or die type of mentalities. Like nowadays, I feel like relationships are a lot of like materialistic, and social media plays a big part of it as well too. And
we have gone through our ups and downs, but I feel like we're in such a good place right now that I'm such a big believer in like everything happens for a reason. So why rush something, and why fix something that's not broken?
Yeah.
Right? It's like everything's so good, why change it? So,
True.
And we're both young. We're both young. We still have
I'm 26,
I made
bro.
it sound like I put you on the spot, but
No.
really, I just want to know what your take on it.
That's-
But we've
good.
talked about it before, and we're both very much on the same page. So it's it's totally a comfortable conversation. We're
It
both
is,
just
yeah.
not in a rush.
I don't
Yeah.
agree about one thing though. You mentioned that I'm not going to take advice from somebody that goes through many girls throughout the year or has dated a few. Or
it wasn't worded the best way. Yeah, to be honest. But I'm saying like people that have constant failed relationships. Like you just look at someone's track record, right? It's like hiring someone at a job, and you see on their resume every 3 months they get a job. It's
not quite.
I don't know, bro. It's
Because it would have to be that advice. Like you're only going to take advice. Are you going to take advice from somebody you met 2-3 minutes ago, Ashley?
No.
if it's decent advice, you don't have to follow it.
This is where I'm going with this.
Yeah,
If you had a true friend, and you asked for their advice, and their advice to you was advice that's going to lead you down a different path. We've had this conversation before on the podcast where you should be able to take advice from people that have failed, because maybe their motive is to make sure you don't fall into the same holes that they did.
Yeah.
So if that's genuine advice, then who best to get it from than the guy that's fallen in that
I guess
pit?
you're right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right, yeah.
Where my parents, they've been happily married for almost 50 years.
Wow.
What advice are they going to give me? They're in love. They don't have experience. They experienced each other. And
Which
the
is
only
amazing.
thing they could
That's
teach
what it-
you
that's what it
is a
should be.
vibe you should have with somebody.
Yes.
And you're trying to match that.
Yes.
But how to do it, who to do it, who's best for you, who to date, who to marry, what their outlook on things. Well, it's easy to have a outlook like that because you're happily married for almost 50 years. What would you have to say about
Life's
it?
simple.
You know?
Yeah.
But maybe I want to meet the guy that's
I want
been
that.
through,
That's what I want, though. Everyone's different, right? Like,
Yeah.
I want that long term.
But that friendship thing that you guys mentioned before, that's kind of where you want to be before you commit to
I
something.
think everyone should be, man.
Yeah, of course. I think
be,
at the end of the day,
yeah.
you're best friends more than anything.
Like, would you ever hurt your friend? Like a friend that you care about,
Unless it's on purpose.
right?
Yeah.
then you.
In video games.
Oh,
But
yeah.
no, in real
Video games, there's no mercy, bro.
Yeah.
I don't
In
care
re-
if you're. Yeah.
Oh, I killed him by accident one time, and he never forgave me for that.
Yeah,
We
see?
were playing this
You hold
PlayStation.
grudges with video games,
Bro.
but in real life, no.
I don't think we played that
hurting
game since.
somebody.
No,
Have
we have not.
No, yeah, fuck that.
But hurting somebody straight up in real life is devastating.
Yeah.
Like you feel the hurt more than they do at times.
Oh, bro, I've been cheated on and all this type of shit. Like I would never do that to anybody. And same with her. Like she's been through it too. Like at the end of the day, bro, it's just who you are as a person.
And some people are put there in your life to teach you a life lesson.
Oh yeah.
And it sometimes comes way after the person's long gone.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes it takes years to realize some of the stuff that you're supposed to go through or you're not supposed to go through in a relationship. But you live and learn.
I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
all the time.
You're just learning together.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, for
Yeah.
sure.
He's kind of a bit of a crazy entrepreneur putting in all these hours. Are you doing the same?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah. I am. I can't really say the company I'm working for, but
Oh, yeah. It's got something to do with ganja.
yeah,
Ganja.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Lots of non-disclosure.
For
agreements.
sure.
Green paraphernalia.
Yeah, it is legal. I'll say that. But
We were talking about the whole weed thing
Mm-hmm.
before we came onto the podcast, and you guys told me that now they not only have a way to test if you've been smoking weed, that it's illegal to have smoked weed and driven a car.
It's so stupid.
What?
It's so stupid.
So
It
I've been
doesn't
doing
work.
it wrong for all these years, not caring. Now I have to care
Now you have to care. Oh yeah.
because it's legal.
Yeah.
But when I was getting it around the corner
ever
from
since
my
it became
buddy,
legal, it's been fucked. It's been the entire
like everything the government gets hold
man.
of.
Before you would get a slap on the wrist. You know what I mean? Like not. I don't condone driving while being high. Like I'm not trying to put that out there as that. But before, if you were smoking weed, the cops would just take your stuff and give you a slap on the wrist. But now it's like they're pulling people over randomly. Like there's no probable cause anymore. So if you're driving on White Ave and there was already a bunch of stings, when you have your interview with, I don't know if I want to say
Yeah.
it, but when you have your interview with him, ask him about it. Like
Yeah.
you guys do these random stings, they bring up a breathalyzer for alcohol and they swab your mouth for marijuana. But like, how is that even proven? Like I'm a daily smoker, you know?
Yeah.
I know it's in my system no matter what. But that doesn't mean I'm high all the time. I just know that THC is in my system because I'm a regular user.
But I think that's why they're more so focusing on like what you have in your vehicle, not really what you have in your system.
Yeah.
Just because I don't think it's that accurate yet. that
You're not
I've
allowed more
seen
than 30 grams?
per person in your car. Yeah.
Dry herb, yeah.
Okay.
But it can't be
if
like-
you have under that, that's okay.
Yeah.
What if you have it in little baggies like you've been passing it around to friends?
You just have to have your original packaging and your receipt
From the store,
that you
yeah.
got.
Okay,
Can't be
so
like
this has
dealer
got to
bags.
be, for example, we'll say Fire and Flower.
Exactly.
So a bag of that with the receipt, with the container.
Yeah, like Nova
sealed.
Cannabis
Okay,
and
yeah,
all
yeah.
these other
So they have
places.
to know that you're purchasing it and
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
going home to smoke it because you
Yeah.
can't smoke it and drive. I could just about imagine how much legalities are behind it. You know, like, can you imagine nowadays? Remember when buying a house with like one signature, two signatures, and you were
Oh, you can do cash too. Up
yeah,
500K,
Now you
no
go to
problem.
buy a used vehicle. You're signing 6
Oh.
pieces of paper.
Oh yeah.
Walking out of there with an undercoating.
But it's also
that
a
you
good
didn't
thing
pay
though, man.
for.
This is gonna help our country. I think like it's gonna be like some of them European countries. Within like 2-3 years, I'll be the first to say it. I feel like within 2-3 years, education will be free in this country. It's gonna happen.
I think it's it's online now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
most
the
of it
whole
is.
online world.
Most of it is.
We can
but
get all our
still.
information from a screen or a phone or
Yeah.
an iPad in front of us. So do you really need to do all that travel?
Canada's the new Amsterdam, bro. So
Yeah. Homeschooling is
tourism's
such a
about to pop.
popular thing. Like it's been for years, but
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of things are going to change, man.
yeah, I'm excited.
It's funny with these weed shops when you walk into them. You first of all, you're kind of thrown back because for a second you're like, man, I remember where I would have dreams of this when I was younger.
Right.
You could walk into a store
Or go to a
and be
different
like,
country.
I'll take that
Yeah.
weed behind that glass box,
Bro.
and taking me back to that. And right away there's that initial shock for a second or two, and then you walk up to their wall and you're thinking, all right, I want weed. I've been smoking weed for a long time. I should know what I want by now. No idea.
Bro,
Looking
there's
at
so
the
many
calendar,
flavors. Oh yeah.
the chart, whatever they want to call it, filled with thousands of them. And then I got to get somebody like Ashley to be like, what do you recommend? I want an upper. I don't want to get lazy. I like to be creative and be upbeat, like I am now. I want to be more of that. So yeah. And they'll give you some name of some contraband, like
some contraband, he says.
It's
legal now.
California Rose. I'm like,
never heard of that. That sounds amazing.
I just made it up, but it sounds interesting.
I guarantee people just sit there and be like, yeah, this is it's literally the same weed as yesterday.
Is California Rose an available contraband?
We haven't seen that one yet. But
trademark it.
We've had one called, one name I love is Subway Scientist or Chocolate Fondue.
Subway Scientist?
Yeah. Like if chocolate fondue isn't too far-fetched for a weed name, then California Rose.
Bro, like some of these weed names are like the guy hitting the thing and just looking at the nearest thing around him. Like, we shall name this Copper Cup.
We shall name it Vocalese. Have you had Vocalese before?
What is this?
It's a honey throat spray. We're sponsored by them, and we'd like you to spray.
You're sponsored by them?
Well, yeah. Tell me how you feel when you spray it. It's for your vocal cords. In case you...
Okay.
See how loud it was? Good sound.
What's in it? Is it CBD?
I thought this was a prank at first.
No.
I'm not going to lie. I thought I was like, Vocalese, okay, I'm going to spray this.
You know what I should do?
And it'd be something super sour. Or like, I was oh, no.
You know what I should do? Straight up. I'm just going to put it out there.
It's actually really good.
I should fill that with hot sauce after it's done and play a prank on people. So for those of you that aren't watching this episode, that don't know I'm going to do this, when this is out, I'm putting hot sauce in it. So when a guest tells me that they've seen every episode, I'll know that.
Oh,
they saw this part. And if they didn't,
that'd be a nice highlight clip,
right? So I'm giving you a warning that I will be doing that. So we'll see.
You got to do some of those hot sauce. Have you seen those that YouTube?
Well, yeah. I was just gonna say that's kind of a version of that because you're just getting them spray in their mouth.
Bro, that's a sick channel,
Right?
Yeah.
It's a good show.
They're telling you their life story, and then halfway through, they just turn beet red, and they want out of there.
I love it. It's
but I love how some of them continue on with the story and the details and do it like so good.
I don't know the host's name, but I like how he's like he'll eat it and he'll be like, "Okay, so what did you do about this one time?" And just like he's dying, he's sweating, but he finishes his role like a true MVP.
He has a podcast with wings that are super hot because he can have wings that are. You're walking into his world. Make no mistake about that.
Yeah, that's facts.
You know what I mean? Like you're walking into his domain. So
imagine getting paid.
He's eating it like we eat popcorn.
That'd be sick, right?
And you look at the guest's face, and they're like, where's your bathroom? I want milk, like freaking out. And he's just like, oh, relax, man, calm down. What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on? Here?
Yeah, there's very few people that finish. Yeah,
I feel like I'm in the wrong industry. Any food critics out there?
Why, you want to get into the food industry?
Bro, that'd be amazing. You get paid to eat hot wings on a show? Are you kidding?
Oh my god.
Sign me up, bro. What do you mean? Send the contracts.
Back to what we were saying. So it's illegal. It's illegal for me to now smoke a joint and jump in the car and drive.
Well, it's the same thing as alcohol, right? Like you can't.
But it's not. Not to us, it's not.
To them, it is.
Well, now.
Yeah.
This is what's changed.
It's the same thing as alcohol. If you go to a bar and you have 2-3 drinks and you jump in the car, it's a DUI.
And there's a breathalyzer involved.
But the breathalyzer is accurate, but the weed one's not accurate.
The weed one's not accurate.
No, it can't tell that you've like. I think it's like time, like how high you've been for how long. So say I smoked a joint now, right? Mm-hmm. They don't know if it was recent, like within 15 minutes or 4 or 5 hours ago.
Yeah, it's not like it measures higher if it's 20 minutes later versus.
It's just like there's
exactly
contamination in your mouth or something like that.
Just have some Listerine in the car.
Yeah.
That could definitely work, I think.
Right?
Get the alcohol version.
But I think they're more so just checking that you're transporting it properly. Like
But if you're not even into that, because I know a lot of weed smokers,
yeah.
And what's happened recently is nobody's smoking weed anymore. Now they're vaping the pens, they're CBD smoking, they're doing all of that to sort of get rid of getting a possible ticket after smoking weed. Because I know some people that are religiously smoking weed that now don't do it. They have a pen, it's skinny, they hit it.
I know a lot of people that do that.
Yeah. So there's no more rolling weed.
Babe, don't you have a pen? Or is that a hookah pen?
No, that one's a hookah pen, the one I have with me. But I do have a vape though.
Yeah.
But these cannabis shops, they have that stuff available as well. not just
I'm not sure. I don't think they have oil.
like isn't there pens? Isn't there weed vapes?
Yeah, they do sell the equipment for it, like all the vapes and everything, but it's just that the actual product isn't going to be legal until sometime this year. So as soon as they let us
there's
know,
still a process to come with all the legalizing of other things, other contrabands.
It's
Contrabands,
just it's just ingestible oil that's legal right now. So you can ingest it. You know, usually it's just a drop under your tongue or in food or drinks.
I had that today.
Yeah.
Really good. Actually, Chris gave me some CBD.
I ordered two
Tasted
bottles.
nice.
I'm giving one to my dad and one will probably hang around me in case I need it. But I find that
I've never tried it, bro.
it's nice. It gives you a
it's supposed to be a nice.
To be honest, I was already high, so I don't really know what CBD
it's not
feels like.
CBD. For me, not speaking on behalf of everybody, but for me, CBD doesn't seem to get me high. It seems to just relax me physically. So CBD seems more of a physical thing for me than it is mental.
There's no THC in it, right? That's what gets you high.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm not like I said.
It's not actually supposed to get you mentally. It's not supposed to affect you mentally, which is why a lot of people are after it right now.
Yeah.
It is supposed to be a body high. It's supposed to help with anxiety, nausea, certain ailments. You can look up so many videos on YouTube right now. It's amazing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's supposed to help with a lot, but it's definitely not for everybody. Like you have to try it and see how it goes. But
I know people that smoke weed and
though.
get super anxious and
this
just
is a good alternative
paranoid.
for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially for those that get nervous and get fluttery and
that's one of my friends, Adam. He'll smoke a joint and he's just like, oh my god, I think someone's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
There's cops. I'm like, bro, it's legal. He's
Yeah.
like, but there's cops coming. I'm like, bro, it's legal. Relax, okay?
What does the badge say? The cops are coming.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't see any cops
It's
coming.
fine, bro.
Where are you, on the interstate? Just like
The worst is when you're high and you're listening to music. I do this in like some of the songs that I produce, like some of the artists. The song will be done and I'll add police sirens as a sound effect and they'll be just blazing. And they'll be like, bro, I turned my car volume down and like rolled my windows up and put my seat up and my belt on because I thought cops were behind me, but it was your fucking song, bro. Just like woo, woo, woo. It's like,
are we gonna add it to this podcast? Woo, woo, woo.
You could. I got all the sound effects.
Can.
Yeah, I have a nice folder.
So they're worried about getting caught to that extent.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we never really felt too much of that.
Well, it depends on you though, right? If you're doing wrong, I feel like then you have a reason to be paranoid.
Yeah, you still have to have a reason to be pulled over.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're swerving around and you're driving stupid, then what do you
like
expect,
most Albertans.
Right? Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
There's a little
That's true.
shade of salvation.
if anything, it seems like cops don't care as much as they used to. It's
Not
weird.
about weed anymore, no.
Not just about weed. I remember if we had tinted windows in our car, that you were worried about when a cop sees it, he's going to pull you over.
I've never had that issue, to be honest.
Yeah, well, you're younger, so this is way before. But we would get in
That
trouble
was an
for-
actual like serious like.
Yeah, if you
Really?
had your
Yeah.
there's
I didn't
people
know
have been, oh man, many of my friends, including myself, been pulled over and given a ticket
For just tinted windows.
Yeah.
for tinted windows. Yeah, exhaust.
Are they like
They used
blacked
to
out?
ask me, why is your exhaust so loud? Like on a Porsche that I had German.
Why does that
exhaust.
matter?
Yeah, but that was the big thing. I'm saying nowadays, it's like it's more serious of an offense. Like they've let all this little shit go because people are either dropping ecstasy or G or like something's going on with people. Like what I mean?
Contraband.
Yeah, everybody's
Lots.
got their own contraband in mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's got their fix. But
Yeah.
you can't tell me that smoking a joint driving is like having 12, 13 beers and driving.
Nah, I don't. I don't agree with
You know
that.
what I
either,
mean?
nah.
Like, yeah, I might be high when I drive.
But
at
everyone
times,
gets
but-
high differently, though, right?
Yeah, that's
gotta remember
true.
that.
That's true.
Like, I could
focus.
smoke- yeah.
I focus a lot more.
I think so. know.
For me, I mean,
I focus a lot when I work and everything. I love it.
especially if you're an all over the place kind of person.
Oh yeah, I have
It dumbs
crazy
you down to
ADHD.
a couple of thoughts at a time.
I don't
Yeah,
like taking.
exactly.
Yeah, I used to take like Adderall as a kid, and like Ritalin as a kid growing up in school. Bro.
Really?
Oh man, I was like a little hyperball in like elementary and junior high. I used to take those pills, but I realized like I just turned into a robot. I'm so emotionless as a person. Even if I'm happy, it's like, yo, are you excited? I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. But you don't look excited. It's like, bro, I'm lit right now. Trust. This,
Yeah, the first year
it's like
of
a
us,
Kanye face, just like, when you see him laughing and then
Yeah.
he looks at the camera and
He's
like,
actually being creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't see it.
You just don't see it.
Oh, the first year of us being together, it took me a while to get used to it. To be honest, I was constantly being like, "Are you okay? What's going on
I'll
here?"
still take a Adderall like here and there, just because like sometimes I feel like I just kind of lose the track of like focus or something. Have you ever seen the movie Limitless?
Yeah.
It feels like that.
Oh, okay.
Like all your thoughts just organized, you know. And
Yeah.
the crazy thing is you can't depend on it. You know, it's still a drug, and it's prescribed. Obviously, I'm prescribed it. I don't just take it from some random. Hey, bro, you want to meet me at 7-Eleven?
Whatever high a drug gives you, there's always the downfall.
Oh,
there's some that give you a high for an hour and you pay for that hour at some point the next day, lack of sleep. But then there's some drugs where if people are doing them and they're lasting 2 to 3 days, well, what happens to that person? They have a 2 to 3 day sleep.
Yeah.
Because there's always
balance, man.
It's the balance, it's the harmony, it's the yin and yang.
Yep.
If you're gonna do something that's an upper, well, I don't care if it's Adderall, if it's steroids. Guess what happens to guys that take steroids?
Down.
Their body starts to change. That's the reverse. So there's always an action to every. What's the
reaction? I think it is.
Yeah, there's a reaction to every action. I don't know how the
something like that, but I get what you're saying. Yeah,
but
potato.
Exactly. So they're there. So why? Yeah, of course you're gonna take Adderall and feel that you're gonna have to pay for it at some point.
Oh yeah,
like you know what I mean?
It's crazy.
For all the fun times, all the limitless feels that you get. You know what I mean?
Especially when you're in a room, you know. Just imagine being in this room 15, 16 hours a day and not leaving. It starts to close in on you. Something like people think, oh, wow, it's such a beautiful studio. And sometimes those walls close in on you, man. Like,
I was really impressed when I saw your studio.
Yeah.
And what you've done and how far you've come along. I was like, shit, this guy wasn't joking. Man. He's
paid a lot of dues.
It shows. It shows. So we should definitely make some room because that whole environment of filmmaking, directing, all that stuff, that's the reason why you get into this. So the podcast, it's here to stay. It's very easy to keep up with. It's only a few hours.
As long as you do what you love at the end of the day, right?
Yeah. But I started it because it was just an idea that was thrown out there, and then you run into the right people, as I'm sure you have too. And it's like
that's the best part about this industry.
We don't even know what we're doing. Honestly, we're just kind of as we go along, we're feeling it out, but it feels good. I know we're gonna look back at these and be like, so unprofessional. Yeah. Listen to that sound. That sound. That's not the kind of sound.
Oh, I do that with my music all the time. The song will be out, and I'll be in the car, and I'm like, did I mix that in there? That sounds bad.
What's your product like compared to a few years back?
Oh man, garbage. Like I look at my
stuff.
You
think that?
Oh, bro.
Somebody else like, oh, it sounds great, honey.
Yeah.
You'll tell them that.
She's my number one fan. She'd be like, oh, this is great.
But, no, I am honest though. You know, to be totally honest.
The growth is there.
He's
grown it's a night and day difference.
You need to be.
But I feel like
you need to be honest with him. I feel. You know what I mean? That's how you get the best out of him.
Right, but I feel like he also is his own worst critic. So like he also needs to realize that he has a natural talent that shines through.
I'm pretty hard on myself, especially with the work.
Yeah.
But you have to be. That is the reason that you've come this far. If you weren't hard on yourself and you loved everything you did, then you wouldn't give yourself any room to grow. So it's okay to be hard on yourself, but it's nice to have a partner that knows how to, all right, you've been hard on yourself for 7 hours now. I think we've had enough.
See, there's a limit.
You know there's a limit.
There's a limit, bro.
Yeah, you can't just hide in a bedroom, turn off the lights, and be like, I'm hard on myself.
Just go fetal position and start crying.
Even just the other day, I said to him, I was like, I can't listen to this song again. I was like, it's perfect. Enough. Like you've worked on it for
because I'll do multiple versions.
Hours.
Yeah, I'll do multiple versions to a song. Because for me, it's like I'm not just mixing a song just to make it a song. Like if I'm working with an artist, they're gonna be a good artist for one. I'm not gonna waste my time, right? Yeah. And then number two, once the song is out, it's out, bro. Like rest in peace to all the people that have died. But like as soon the songs get played after they die, and that's their memory. Like as an engineer, I know I said I want the recognition, but as an engineer's job and a producer is like to make this guy like sound incredible, so that when his fans and people are coming to him, it's motivating and inspiring like millions of people. Like you say, all those views, millions of views, they're just listening to it as music. You know, when I look at a movie now and I see like people walking down the street, there's no movie magic for me anymore because I understand how the sound gets added, how the editing.
You're analyzing.
Oh, I'm over analyzing.
In today's world, we don't have I'm not even patient enough to
Bro,
read an entire text message. I
Yeah.
just
You and me both.
glance
How many
over
times
it.
do you reply to a text in your head and
Yeah,
not actually
and you look
reply?
at it 2
Oh, I
weeks
know.
later, like I didn't reply to him.
Oh, I do that
You
every
know,
day.
no wonder he hasn't been liking anything.
Mm.
Do-
People
do-
actually do that though, man. Like, I'm one of those
It's a
people where I
snub.
feel like
It's an
yeah,
online snub.
It's weird, man. Like I'm one of those people where if we haven't talked for like a year or two,
Mhm.
but we meet again,
Mhm.
like I love the people like how we are. We picked up the conversation where we last left off. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh, this guy doesn't like my posts and
Yeah.
blah 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 blah, all emotional. Like I think the best friendships they never end. You just pick up where you
Yeah.
last left off, and you don't have to be best friends. Don't get me wrong. It's
Yeah.
just nice to come across energy like that and just keep going.
Some people say you don't. You know, I've heard and I've had conversations with people that say, "Well, what's the big deal about likes and shares and who cares?" You're right. It isn't a big deal, but it's today's
It matters.
way. It's today's way of showing support and love and respect. And
Yep.
For somebody that you might know or heard about. You know what I mean?
Times have
So-
changed, bro. It's not like our
Yeah.
mom and pop's world where
So
old school. Like now it's Instagram. Like I made a lot of money off Instagram, bro, and that's a picture taking app.
Yeah.
Like through virtual handshakes of DMs and meeting artists, and
Yeah.
it's possible. Like even I'm not the richest dude, you know what I mean, and I still have a lot to learn, obviously, and I'm still finding my way as a person. But like some of these guys that are my mentors, I know I'm making $100,000 a month off Instagram, and they're still doing their careers and whatever else on the side. So it's like social media is huge nowadays, and it's only gonna grow. This is 2019. Could you imagine the world in 2030? Like when our parents tell us get an education because your generation is gonna be super competitive. Like they weren't lying, bro. Like times now, people's just, like you said, attention span and patience is very limited. Like even you as people, when you go on Instagram and you scroll through, something doesn't grab your attention within the first 3 seconds, you don't care. You don't like it.
you're carrying on viral friendships with these people that are
Yeah.
either liking or sharing.
It's
Isn't
fake.
it weird when you've had somebody on your Instagram for like 2 years and they've never liked or commented on anything
weird,
of yours?
bro.
Then one day they do. It's a weird feeling.
It
It's
is.
like it's like, you know, but subconsciously we all think that nobody's paying attention. In a way, if you're online enough, you'll see
Oh,
who
yeah.
supports you and who doesn't.
You
And
have
I'll
to be consistent.
still run into the same people, and they know who they are, that really truly support me. Love them to death. I would do the same thing for them. And it just seems like people think that if you don't, not that you need to spend all day liking pictures, but those that are closest to you,
Yeah, of course.
have to support you online the way they would support you in real life. Because
course.
at the end of the day, if this is how we're going to communicate, by sharing and commenting and liking and posting and commenting on stories, whatever way you used to communicate, if that's the way you want to do it, then that's the same thing as coming over to my home and congratulating me or
Yeah.
you know, supporting me that way, or having a coffee with me, because that's how we're all communicating, and that's how you show support now.
That's how it
you know?
should be, you know. But it's
Yeah. But it's
again,
not.
social media is a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
Like
it's
people post
So the-
fake lives and live a
Well, they're
double
only showing their
life.
best. I only show
Yeah.
you my best. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty open on my Instagram.
If there's
with
like
my
a hideous
followers, so-
picture of me out there, I'm like, no, don't do it.
I don't do pictures. I don't like pictures.
Well,
Yeah,
some people don't care whether you like pictures
I
or
don't
not.
think I'm
Get in
photogenic.
on it, put your boom, done, out there.
I
You
look
better
like,
hope you have bunny ears and a bunny nose.
I got 3
You know what I
chins.
mean? It's just people don't want their natural
Nope.
look out there. You know what I mean?
Videos I'm okay with.
It's scary, but I mean, people out there that like and share and always have shown support for you online, you can always pinpoint who those people are subconsciously in a way.
Do you have like hardcore fans of your podcast?
Yeah,
Like
of course,
every-
but I'm a hardcore fan of other people that I follow online. Whatever Tanvir posts, I'm pretty much gonna like. I like
Yeah.
the way he thinks. I'm friends with him. I think it's funny if he puts out
that's
something
because he's
funny.
in our circle.
And he's in my, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So obviously, okay, those are really close. But even ones that I don't see, you know, in a long time, or some distant family members, I'm always liking and sharing as much as I can, right? But you're not on there all the time. But it's funny how some just go like disappear for 2-3 months, and it's like,
It's good though, bro.
yeah, no, not disappear like as in they're not online anymore.
Oh.
Disappear from supporting you.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
it's like, what did I say? What did I do?
Sometimes, yeah.
But now with a podcast,
I do
it's
that a
like,
lot.
There's nothing
I
hidden
question.
anymore. You know what
I feel like I'm a pretty passionate speaker, so sometimes I may feel like I may offend someone or.
But you can't not
It's
offend
worrying,
anybody.
bro. I don't know. It's one of those things.
What
when
do you think? You haven't offended anybody in your life?
Oh, multiple people. But
Okay,
you just
so
gotta
why
tread
fight it?
lightly, you know.
Trust it.
Yeah, I guess.
Trust it. Well, are you saying anything racial?
No,
homophobic?
of course not. Of course
No.
not. Of
I know
course
what
not.
you mean about offending somebody.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like mentioning that Biggie isn't as good as Tupac.
Comments
When
are
you
gonna
love
go
both of them.
stupid.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So that's offensive. You know what I mean? But that's just an opinion you're allowed to have.
yeah, of course.
So in today's world where opinions are,
I feel like people are soft nowadays, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
bro, Donald Trump is tweeting 6-7 times a day.
That's crazy.
Come on.
Him and Kanye both.
144 characters. They give
Where's
you
their
now?
publicist, bro? Somebody gotta take away their phones. Like,
But it's like the average person hides behind their messages online. It's because they're not face to face saying this to each other.
Cyber bullies.
It's
Right.
totally, it's the truth. It gives them like a confidence, you know. It's not something
what's
you
that
can say
called?
in public.
What's that word? Keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Keyboard warriors, right? That's what that's
Yeah.
called.
Keyboard warriors?
Yeah.
What is
You're
that?
like, yo, you wanna fight
Oh,
me?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, come to London, UK. I'm from
Yeah.
I'm from Vancouver, Canada, bro. I'll come to London,
Yeah.
bro. I'll fuck you up,
Then they get
What?
really heated and capitalize all the letters.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then add the
exactly.
emojis,
I'll
the
show you
clapping
what's
ones.
up.
Yeah.
Can you do anything else with your fonts besides that?
I don't know.
Like, could you color them? Could you?
I've never cared enough.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't have Twitter
You don't?
and Snapchat. I
have
have an
Twitter, I
account, but
never
I
use
don't
it.
use Snapchat.
No.
Like,
Snapchat, I don't
you know,
understand.
I don't use Snapchat
Yeah.
because I don't get it. Like, I get
Neither
the
do I.
filters. The filters make sense and they're cool. But
My
I-
brother is crazy. My brother be having like streaks with like 30 of his friends, and it'll say like 1,024, and that means like if you send me a snap,
Yeah.
they reply 1,000.
Oh yeah,
in
their
a row.
their numbers are insane. You know what I
Stupid.
mean? But
I'm
I
like,
feel
bro.
like I don't mind Snapchat. I just find it weird that I don't want to get on something where everything disappears.
Yeah.
Every time you're having a conversation, it's gone.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you were starting to make sense there.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And now I don't see it. Or
You reply.
and what are
it's
these
gone.
pictures being sent that they need them to disappear right away?
Right.
How
Like, if
how
they're-
appropriate are these pictures on Snapchat?
Mhm.
So I don't have it. I have it, but I don't use it. But I don't get it. And then the ones that do share stories, it's a constant. It's about 65 10-second posts of that day. It's like, okay, now
Eating
it's
chips in a car. So today in my
well,
life.
okay, so it's a biography. It's a biography about yourself. That's why I think podcasts
Yeah.
are going to be super important.
Yeah.
Because what I'm doing now is snap chatting twice a week, you could call it, on my conversations or my day or my week with somebody. So it's essentially the same thing. So I can't be mad at people just posting. But I just feel like that's what Snapchat is. Like, I'm coming into your world for about a minute or two as you're going through your certain appointments you did that day, or your work, or who you work with, or your buddies, or where you had a drink
It's like
tonight.
a glimpse of their reality. You know? But I feel like
Exactly.
Instagram is better for that, to be honest.
Well, everybody's sharing. There's
yeah.
Instagram TV now.
I've never used
Yeah.
that. I have
Well,
a video.
You can have like half-an-hour videos.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Instagram is basically just all everything combined now. Like,
Yeah.
they've-
IGTV is trying to be like YouTube now.
Yeah,
almost.
Instagram is pretty big,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so
That's Mark Zuckerberg right there for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's a
He's
good deal.
genius.
That's a good.
And he got
deal.
WhatsApp.
Yeah, that too.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
He bought WhatsApp. He bought Instagram. He bought Vine just to shut it down.
Wow.
I actually miss Vines.
Yeah,
Those are-
Vines was amazing.
That was
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
good app. Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are funny.
they still linger around though.
Oh, I
is.
love them. I search
Yeah.
them on YouTube. I'll get super baked and just sit there and just watch nice 6-second
I
clips.
think there's
Yeah.
a couple Instagram pages actually.
Yo, you gotta get a guy on this show, 2J. He's from Edmonton.
Yeah,
He's a great
you
guy.
talk to Johnny for me. I want him on.
Oh, you did?
When he comes, no, you do.
Okay.
When he comes to Edmonton.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be there anyways. We'll be at the studio.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys coming by and educating us on. We're gonna smoke that joint.
You want it?
Absolutely.
Can
we
we
can.
just
Not right now.
Not right now.
No.
Upstairs.
We're saying goodbye. Is there any parting words you have for us? Anything we should be concerned about when it comes to paraphernalia?
Not really. I would just say like any musicians watching and stuff or engineers, just keep doing what you're doing, and if you're trying to network, hit me up.
What's your Instagram like? How do they find
It's
you?
Sully with 2 Y's.
And are you on Facebook as well?
Yeah.
Or is there a website?
Sully Khan. Website is Last Winter, so LSTWNTR.
So it's not spelled exactly the
Nah,
same.
it's like abbreviated.
Spell it again.
LSTWNTR.
Last Winter.
Yeah.
And that's the company that you put together.
Well, me and my partners put
Yeah,
together. Yeah. We all put
I mean, we don't have enough room for that.
Well,
But when we speak about this, we're including
next
everybody.
Next
Yeah.
time it'll be
Yeah.
bigger. I'm excited for the growth.
We'll see you at the studio.
Yeah.
And before this
Thanks for having me.
releases, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thanks for
fun.
being here. Thanks for coming,
Thank
Ashley.
you.
And Tanvir, as always, Chris, wherever you are, thank you. And we'll
problem.
plug in everything under the comments and
Sick.
hashtag everything so they know where to find you.
Yeah, appreciate
Yeah.
it.
All right.